Isn't it better to look at the world with light and with gratitude than it is to look at the world as its shadows, as its darkness? In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the small things that changed my life. My hope is that throughout this episode, and especially by the end of this episode, you have found more gratitude in your life. You have come up with a list of your own of a bunch of small things that have changed your life. Hello, welcome back to the Self-Love Archives podcast. My name is Julia Salvia. If you are new here or you have been here, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you a million times over. As you're listening to this, I am officially on vacation. It's been a long time since I've actually taken a vacation. All of the times that I've taken a quote-unquote vacation in the past couple of years, my laptop has tagged along. And this time, I've made it a point to not allow my laptop to tag along. Not that I don't like to work on vacation, because there's nothing like sitting on a balcony at 7 a.m. on vacation and answering a couple of emails. For some of you, you might gag at that. You might gag at the thought of answering emails on vacation. But for me, it's just like, it's chill. There's no rush to get back to anyone. There's no need for productivity. You're just kind of hanging out and enjoying vacation and doing what you love. And I do love what I do. But this time I don't want to worry about my laptop, so she is not coming with me. And funny enough, a couple of days ago, I was packaging some pumpkins. Love me some spooky season. It gets spookier. I was packaging some glass pumpkins to sell, and the stem of one of the pumpkins broke and slit my finger open. So that was a nice 3-hour hospital visit at 11 o'clock at night. And now I will be spending an hour or so on my vacation to take my stitches out. It has been interesting trying to go about life with basically one hand, or technically one working thumb. I kind of want to make this into a series. I have quite a big list of the small things that changed my life, but I also have some big things that have changed my life. So let's see how this comes to fruition. But for today, let's jump into this episode. Writing this list gave me a new sense of gratitude for all of the small things in my life, whether they are small moments, small purchases, small changes in routines, in day-to-day life. And the first one I'm going to share with you makes a lot of sense because a few weeks ago, I was featured in the New York Post. And my second time being featured in the New York Post. If you want to look that up on Google, feel free. Julia Salvia, New York Post. Really just two cool experiences and good articles. I'm glad to be in the Post or in any newspaper where the article is really about doing better for yourself, or a tip and a trick or something along those lines. The article that I was featured in was actually talking about silent walking and how, in a sense, it cured my anxiety. I had been walking outside since 2020. I think a lot of us started walking outside in 2020, but I can't even tell you how much walking outside changed my life. It was really tough to start. It almost felt like this dreaded thing that I really didn't want to do, but I was pushing myself to walk outside every single day. No matter it was rain, shine, cloudy, like cold, hot, it didn't matter. I walked outside for about 45 minutes every single day for about, a year. As time went on, my walk started to look a little bit different. I was listening to books in the very beginning. I was listening to music, and especially lately in the past couple of months as I've gone for my walk, I've noticed that I go on my walk and I'm not actually listening to anything. There's no music in my ear. There are no books being spoken to me in my ear. I'm not on the phone with anyone. It's just this hour of me time. This hour where I'm completely within myself, within nature, and within the present moment. And it has done the craziest things for my anxiety. I was scrolling through TikTok one day and this creator named Maddie Mayo posted about silent walking. And I was like, I do that. She coined this term to walking without listening to anything and put into perspective everything that I didn't even realize I was doing. You're having this opportunity to have a conversation with yourself, to really think about how you're feeling, what's going on in your head, and it gives you also the freedom to think clearly. And honestly, it has made me a very creative person as well. You're basically removing all distractions to be much more aware of your inner and outer self, your inner and outer environments. Buddhist monks have practiced this for years. They call it walking meditation. Am I saying that you need to do a silent walk? No. Am I telling you that you should go outside and walk? Yes, 100%. Something that I started doing outside when I need to get all of my thoughts out is journaling. I like to journal in so many different ways, but one of the ways recently that I have been journaling a lot is actually speaking into my phone, like going into my notes app, writing out the date, and just talking into my phone. And I've found that I do this a lot on my silent walks, but I also do it when there's just so much going on in my head. I do it while I'm driving, like just talking into my phone and letting it type everything out for me. As someone who works on social media and is always on my phone, it's sometimes hard to sit down and write, but it's even harder to sit down and write in my notes app. So talking into it is like that perfect happy medium of getting all of my thoughts out and journaling. And I find that journaling has a similar effect as a silent walk does, but it's almost this amazing way to look back at how you were feeling and what you were thinking so that you can reflect on whatever it was you were conflicted about, trying to balance, questioning. Journaling is something that I didn't even realize changed my life because I think for a lot of us, we have been journaling our whole lives. Don't even tell me right now that you didn't have a diary when you were 12. I had this purple fuzzy diary with a monkey on the front. I had one of those journals that you were able to lock. I think I had the voice lock one. Do you remember that? I know you remember that. I had one that was blue and had ladybugs on it. And eventually my journaling started to become journaling in just notebooks. There are so many notebooks I've kept where there's only like a few pages left. I would just write in anything that I had. What goes hand in hand with walking outside and journaling is meditating. I know these first three sound so straightforward and you've heard these before, but it's a reiteration to let you know that they really are that helpful. I always thought that when you meditated, you went into this space of like depth, this space that I never thought I would get to. I thought it had to be perfect. I thought there was only this one certain way to meditate. There is no perfect way to meditate. As someone whose mind is really loud and as someone who is always anxious, journaling, meditation, and walking outside are like this little trifecta that has absolutely changed my life. This next one is one I don't hear people talk about enough. Sleeping 90-minute intervals. When I stopped pulling my all-nighters and I realized, hey, you probably need to get more sleep. I'm talking like 7.5 to 9 hours of sleep. Normally you hear doctors saying you need 8 hours of sleep. That's not on a 90-minute interval. Your sleep cycle averages about 90 minutes. And when you wake up during that 90-minute interval, your body hasn't completed a sleep cycle. And what happens is you wake up still tired, groggy, and you're like, well, I got 8 hours of sleep. How could I still be tired? It's because you woke up during a 90-minute interval. Now, sleeping in 90-minute intervals doesn't mean that you wake up every 90 minutes. It just means that you are sleeping until the sleep cycle is completed. Ever since I started sleeping in 90-minute intervals, I actually feel well rested. I actually wake up when I need to. If you're gonna try to sleep 90-minute intervals, you're gonna sleep an hour and a half, because that's 90 minutes, 3 hours, 4.5 hours, 6 hours, 7.5 hours, 9 hours, so on. So you're gonna wake up on one of those 90-minute cycles. And it averages, so let's say I wanna wake up at 7:30. I'm going to do my best to get to bed by 12, if not earlier, because it takes some time to fall asleep. But because for me, the sleep cycle is a little bit less than 90 minutes, I'm going to bed at 12, going upstairs at 11:30, doing my skincare routine and everything, and getting my butt into that bed by midnight so that when my alarm goes off at 7:30, I feel well rested. I don't feel groggy. It's not difficult for me to get up. As a person who is chronically late and cannot wake up, even if the fire alarm was going off, and has struggled my entire life waking up, this sleeping in 90-minute intervals has changed my life. A couple of months ago, I did a makeup for this woman whose husband was a sleep doctor. He was in the hotel room as I was doing the makeup for her, and we got onto the conversation about him being a sleep doctor, and I was like, is it true sleeping 90-minute intervals is a thing? And he's like, yeah, 100%. Our daughter is on that kind of sleep cycle. First of all, I felt very smart because I knew this, and then I was bringing it to this doctor who then confirmed. And I was so confident in it anyways. Even if he said, no, it's not true, I still would have done it. I'm not someone who likes to take naps, but if I need to, and I'm saying like if I truly need to take a nap, his recommendation was to take a nap that's less than 20 minutes or is an hour and a half nap. If you wake up in between that 20 minutes to the hour and a half, you're gonna feel that grogginess. You're not gonna feel like you got a really good nap in. And I think that was the key. That is the key right there to feeling well rested, getting the sleep that your body needs, but also this little trick to wake up at the right time. So sleep in 90-minute intervals. It'll change your life. It'll change your sleeping habits too. It's good for you. On that same subject of health, magnesium. Magnesium is beautiful. Magnesium is stunning. Magnesium is my best friend. I feel very privileged and very lucky that I don't take any medication and I don't necessarily need any medication on a consistent daily basis. I have struggled with anxiety and depression for my whole entire life. And something in me just really wanted to do everything in my power to not take medications to help it. And there's nothing wrong with taking medications to help anxiety, to help depression, to help anything. This is just where I personally sit with medication, especially someone who has dealt with depression and anxiety at such a young age. There was something in me that just really didn't want to take medication, and I'm very happy that I never did, despite it being pushed on me as a teenager. But sometimes my anxiety specifically is very hard to deal with and very hard to handle, especially when there's a lot that I need to do in a day. Even if I allow myself to relax or go for my walk or meditate, it still feels difficult to handle. So I started taking magnesium for it. Every time I'm feeling anxious, I make a recess magnesium drink or I take a magnesium pill. I want to give you the definition or the benefits of magnesium straight from a .org website. Magnesium is an essential mineral that powers many functions in our bodies. It plays a crucial role in muscle function, the nervous system, and energy production. It also helps maintain blood sugar and blood pressure. Taking magnesium every day isn't considered to be unsafe, and it is an essential mineral that our bodies need anyway. I have more of those little things that have changed my life that are purchases, routines, appointments, things that I've tried, and I want to share those with you because let's get a little more lighthearted. Purchases that have changed my life. On the subject of walking, curing my anxiety, and being active, my walking pad. When I tell you, yes, you should get it. Yes, you should get it. I was so skeptical about getting a walking pad because it's probably the most expensive purchase on this list. But it is an expensive purchase, because if you're going to get a walking pad and you want to use it the way that I'm using it, which is to walk while you're working, you also need the standing desk or something like a standing desk so that you can walk and work at the same time. So the purchase altogether was probably about $600. The walking pad being about $300 and the desk also being about $300 or $400. I bought it during like Amazon Prime, and it took me a while to set up just because I have my desk in my office set up already, and you know how it is. Procrastination. I ended up opening it and setting it up, and I kid you not, in the first week alone of me setting it up, like it hasn't even made it to my office yet, it's still downstairs in our dining room, I walked probably 2 or 3 hours a day on that thing and didn't even realize it half the time, because you put it on a super low setting, like 1.2 miles an hour, 1.5 miles an hour, and you just work. And I got myself used to standing while working because my posture, my back is not great. It's not the best. I'm headed to the chiropractor after I talk to you guys today. But you walk on it for at least like 5 minutes as you're working, and then you get so into whatever you're working on and you completely forget that you're walking on a treadmill. With the amount of time that I'm on my computer or sitting down working, this was just a perfect fit for me. So if you're thinking about it, yes, you should get it. 100%. And anything and everything that I mention in this video is going to be in the show notes, including the treadmill that I personally purchased and the desk, but all of the other little things, like a 0.3 millimeter pen. I love to write. I love writing things down. There's still that part of me that loves to have a physical calendar and notebooks and write my to-do list down, write what's going on for the week. I have a monthly calendar, a weekly calendar, and then I have like this ongoing to-do list. Writing with a 0.3 millimeter pen has changed my life. You are going to either hate it or you are going to love it. It is the thinnest pen in the entire world. I wish they made liquid liners this thin. I think they do actually make liquid liners this thin. But that is like the smallest purchase in the world that changed my life. It's so much more enjoyable to write, and my writing is very bubbly. So when you write with a thicker pen, it just kind of looks messy, but when you write with a 0.3 millimeter pen, it looks very clean and beautiful. Don't knock until you try it. Another amazing investment, and if you know me, you know. If you've seen me, you know. Matching sets. This is more of a consistent purchase that I have made over the past couple of years. I have matching lounge sets, matching pajama sets, matching workout sets. I'm talking matching everything. And ask me what the most difficult outfit is for me to put together, because it's not anything that has to do with a matching set. I heard a couple years ago that, I think there was this article about Steve Jobs, and it was talking about how Steve Jobs wore the exact same thing every single day. He woke up, put on the same shirt, not the same exact shirt, I'm sure he washed his clothes, but put on the same colored shirt, the same pants, the same shoes, the same outfit. That provided him with one less decision to make every single day. Have you ever thought about putting out your clothes like the night before so that when you wake up, you know exactly what you're wearing for the day? I struggle to do that just because I don't know what mood I'm going to be in. I don't know how I'm going to feel. I don't know what the weather's going to feel like. So I'm a little extra in that way. But in doing that, when you wake up in the morning, you have one less decision to make that day. And we make, I'm gonna Google this to confirm. Trusty Google today. Google has become so helpful today in this podcast. How many decisions do we make each day? I want to say it's like 40,000 decisions, because everything that you do is a decision. Choosing what to eat, choosing what time to get up, choosing what socks to put on, choosing what underwear to put on, choosing whether or not you're going to fill your water up now or you're going to fill it up after you go to the bathroom. Like, We make so many decisions a day and we don't even realize how many decisions we're making because we're so focused on the big decisions. But when we lessen the amount of decisions that we're making a day, especially the smaller, more minuscule ones, by eating the same breakfast every single day, wearing the same thing every single day, we're making room for those other larger decisions to be made. Now, I'm not saying that you should eat the same thing every day, wear the same thing every day, but I'm telling you that wearing matching sets has cut my decision making in half. I lied to you, it's not 40,000, it's 226.7 decisions. Oh, each day on food. So researchers at Cornell University estimate that we make 226.7 decisions each day on food alone. Oh my goodness. As your level of responsibility increases, so does the multitude of choices that you need to make. It's estimated that the average adult makes 35,000 remotely conscious decisions every single day. Wow. There's decision-making styles and guides. I need to mention this because this is so interesting to me. Impulsiveness. So the first option that you are given, and you just choose that and you're done. Compliance, you're choosing the most pleasing decision and the most comfortable decision, the most popular decision. Delegating, not making the decision yourself, but like pushing it off to someone else, like kind of like saying, you figure out what to eat. Avoidance or deflection, avoiding or ignoring decisions, I feel like is a decision in and of itself that just makes you have to choose a decision at some point. So that's like saying, I know I'm hungry, but I'm just not going to make a decision on what to eat because I don't know what to eat. Balancing, which is weighing the factors involved, studying them, getting more information, and then making a decision. So you're ordering food. You're choosing between all of these different options of food, and you're looking into each of the menus and being like, okay, this will fill me up. This I want, but it's too light. This one will be better for my body right now. It's making a balanced decision, an analytical decision. Prioritizing and reflecting is the last decision strategy. This is the one where you put the most energy and this decision will have the greatest impact. Like, I was gonna say grocery shopping for the week, but I would say it's more of a decision like purchasing a home or choosing whether or not to take a new job. Big decisions like that. So although super small, having matching sets has completely changed my life because I'm making one less decision every single day. And I look very put together. I look very put together with minimal effort. Similar to that of wearing matching sets, I'm sure you've heard of the color theory where there are certain color categories that you fit in. Figuring that out has been so fun. As someone who's a very colorful person, it's been so fun to figure out my color category. It's essentially a color palette, and there's different ones. There's bright spring, dark autumn, true autumn. There's so many different ones. There's this filter that continuously goes around on TikTok where it has all of the color palettes and you put your face in it. You take out your hair and you just use your skin tone and your features to figure out which color palette fits you best. So mine personally is autumn. I think they call it like inner autumn or deep autumn or true autumn. It's every color you've ever seen me wear. Greens, pinks, browns. I think purple's in there, although I don't really wear very much purple. After figuring that out, whenever I'm out looking at clothing or looking to purchase something, I'm making better decisions when I go to purchase something and not just choosing any random colored thing. I'm choosing something within that category. So again, it's kind of lessening my decision choices. That doesn't mean I can't go purchase a bright yellow shirt if I wanted to. I totally can. But if I'm in between a bright yellow shirt a deep orange and a brown, I'm gonna look to choose the brown or the deep orange over the yellow because I know that looks better with my features. So something really cool. I wanna get it professionally done at some point, but just using it to help with my decisions in picking out clothes and colors that bring out my features is more than enough for me. This last one is so cute. Buy yourself flowers. Okay, this one you have heard before, but I'm not joking. Buy yourself flowers. Stop waiting for someone else to buy them for you. Buy yourself the flowers. You're gonna get the ones you love, the ones you like, the ones that you know smell good, in the aesthetic that you love. Buy yourself flowers. Every time I go to Trader Joe's or every time I go out, I buy myself flowers. Little flower shops, flowers. I made it a point a couple of months ago to do things that I enjoy. Things that I may not be good at, but I enjoy. And making flower bouquets and putting together flower arrangements is something that I am not amazing at. I've definitely gotten better, but I'm not amazing at it. But I pushed myself to create arrangements in my house, to buy flowers every time I went to the grocery store or every time I passed a cute flower shop and bring them home and put them together in a really pretty bouquet. That has brought me so much joy. I make sure that it doesn't come off like a chore. I don't push myself to film myself creating a bouquet because if I film anything, it immediately feels in some way, even in the smallest way, even though I do love my job, it feels slightly like a chore because you have to get the right angle, the right lighting and everything. So I don't push filming onto myself with making flower bouquets or floral arrangements or just putting the flowers that I've purchased into a vase or anything like that. It has brought me so much joy in that small way of fueling my creativity, but it also has allowed me to feel less expectation on someone else buying me flowers. Now, don't get me wrong. If that is at the top of your priority list, keep it there. For me, it was almost more so fueling this creative part of me. And buying yourself flowers is taking back control. It's giving something to yourself that you deserve, whether it's given to you by someone else or to yourself. It's something that you deserve. It's like taking yourself out on a solo date. It's like taking yourself to dinner. You deserve that. You deserve that, so you might as well take yourself out too. The last one I want to leave you with today for this episode, and I have so many more that I want to share with you, so I think we're going to make this into a series because what I gave to you today is not even half of what I had on this list. The last one is ordering your Starbucks broken down. Let me explain. If you're someone that doesn't like sweet drinks, like super sweet drinks, and you're going to order your Starbucks, right? Let's use the drink that I started this with, for example, the sugar cookie almond milk latte. I'm gonna point out I love a good, cute coffee shop, but sometimes they're hard to find, and Starbucks is accessible, and I love Starbucks. And they are open till 8 p.m. to fuel my caffeine addiction and my workaholicness. So I am sitting in Starbucks a lot of the time, past the time anything else is open. Starbucks came out with the sugar cookie almond milk latte, and let's say you're getting a venti, you're getting the large. If you order it as is, like a sugar cookie almond milk latte, you are paying like $9 for that Starbucks. But if you order it broken down, if you order any of your drinks broken down and not as they put them on their menu, you will probably save like $2, $3. So I would get 3 shots of blonde espresso over ice in a venti cup with 1 pump of sugar cookie, almond milk, and then I love cold foam, so I get the cold foam on top. That right there comes to $6 versus $9. I don't know if that has changed my life, but it has definitely allowed me to put a little bit more coins back into my bank account, or keep those coins that I would be spending on Starbucks in my bank account. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode and hanging out with me. I love this episode. I think it was so cute. I hope you did too. Let me know if you want me to continue this series of the things that have changed my life, the small things that have changed my life, but the big things that have changed my life too. And please share yours with me. I would love, love, love to hear them and share them here with you. Don't forget to sign up for the newsletter coming soon at theselflovearchives.com. I'll see you guys next week, Sunday, same time, 12 o'clock Eastern time. I love you a ton, and I hope you have an absolutely amazing week. Don't forget to look out for the small things this week. Love you.